Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Podcast, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
I'm Jim Stanovic along with Nora Melinda. Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. With us is Bloomberg News cross-asset reporter Emily Griffeo. It's Monday, Emily, but you're thinking about
the weekend?
Drinks in the weekend? I don't know. What's going on here?
I mean, I guess, it's
not too early for a drink.
Yeah. People can have beer and wine during the week.
People still do
Absolutely.
that? Do they still do that?
People
Okay.
do that. Maybe not Gen Z as much.
Yeah.
Because Gen Z is very focused on wellness. And maybe that's what's reflected in Constellation Brands stock. The ticker is STZ. It's down about 4% today. Again, maybe it could be related to that declining demand from Gen Z, but we also got news on the Trump tariffs. So President Trump declared a 30% tariff rate for Mexico and the EU. There wasn't anything specific about alcohol, but these are key markets for drinksmakers. So not only Constellation Brands is down, but we're also seeing Brown-Forman, Boston Beer, Molson Coors down. Constellation makes Modelo and Corona, and Citi noted that 100% of their beer profile is brewed in Mexico. Of course, this all hinges on, is that the tariff rate that will actually stick?
Yeah, and I'm looking at shares year to date, down 25% for this company. So it seems as though people are a little bit here on the stock here.
Right. And you hear a lot about like drinks makers and beverage companies trying to pivot away from alcohol. And I feel like every other day someone is introducing a non-alcoholic option.
Right.
I think it's a general cultural shift away from drinking a lot. That's weighing on these companies as well.
Yeah, low calorie options. People like an alternative these days.
Hey, speaking of a cultural shift, it seems to be that we're seeing a cultural shift when it comes to Wall Street and it comes to crypto, with Bitcoin reaching a new all-time high. I know you're watching a crypto company.
Yeah, this is a big milestone. Bitcoin topping 120K. It felt like just a year ago we were talking about how it was at like 60K. But I'm looking at Coinbase specifically because this is kind of a company that embodies that idea of digital asset DeFi becoming more mainstream. Coinbase, of course, is a crypto exchange. They're in the US. They joined the S&P 500 a couple months ago. And so that stock is higher today. We tend to see whenever there's like Bitcoin reaching a new high, Coinbase does well. And then also just watching the space for this week because the White House is calling this crypto week. There's going to be some bills that Congress is voting on this week that would clarify the structure of the crypto sector and regulations around it. So all around, it's like a very bullish day for crypto. And Coinbase, the ticker there is coin.
How fitting. You're also looking at Rocket Lab, right?
Yes. So Rocket Lab, ticker RKLB, is at a record high right now. It's up about 7%. Citi raised their price target on this stock. They said that the price target comes as they shift their valuation methodology to the company's revenue potential, which, if that sounds a bit boring, there's also some actually space related news in here. This is a rocket satellite company. They said they expect revenue to grow roughly $2.6 billion, driven by 20 Neutron launches per year, further satellite construction wins, particularly for U.S. government programs. So I don't know. I always think space is interesting, and certainly investors like to bet on it.
Yeah, this is interesting. It's a $22 billion market cap as of now. It's tiny compared to, in terms of launches, in terms of capabilities versus SpaceX. But Emily, it's always interesting to see what this company does.
Yeah.
In the wake of any tension that we see between President Trump and Elon Musk. And we've seen it move quite a bit over the last 6 weeks or so as the president has threatened to pull SpaceX contracts. To what extent Rocket Lab could actually fulfill what SpaceX does, that it can't do that at this point. There aren't that many competitors. There aren't really, that can actually do that. But,
it's up 640%.
It's
over
insane.
The last 12 months.
It's insane looking at all these aerospace or these space stocks here. I'm looking at an ETF. It's ticker UFO, Procure Space ETF, up about 30% this year. But if you really dig into some of the names there, lots of activity to watch.
Imagine if SpaceX was a public company, how much higher that ETF would be. There are certainly some ETFs that hold, a bits of it, but it's obviously private.
the Stock Movers Podcast from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.